But I can remember a defining moment when cars became important to me. I was young, maybe 10, maybe 12. Down at the corner drugstore, there was a magazine rack. And I would stand at that magazine rack and read every single car magazine, cover to cover. That had a profound effect on my interest in cars. I was hooked from that moment on. When I was 14 years old, my dad bought me a Model A coupe, pretty ratty, pretty beat up, and I proceeded to hot rod it. And that was really what got me started. In fact, I'm kind of proud to say that I think I'm a hot rodder at heart. I've always enjoyed fast, good-looking cars. I've never enjoyed ugly, fast cars or pretty slow cars. As I was leaving Navy flight training, I like to make a joke that the last page in the Navy flight training book is go buy a sports car. I had my heart set on a Gullwing. The only Gullwing I could afford was a wreck, so I spent the next 37 years putting it back together. I had the car completely professionally restored. And it was perfect. It was a wonderful car. But it turned out to be a kind of a bittersweet situation. The car was perfect. I was driving it less and less. I found out I'd rather have a car on the road, driving it, and getting a few bugs on it, than a perfect car sitting on the grass at some show. No car ever gave its owner a better return on investment than that Gullwing. My appreciation for the Cunningham began when I developed an interest in Briggs Cunningham and his accomplishments and his achievements. He had a goal, a vision, of winning the Le Mans sports car race in France with an American car, with an American driver, with an American engine. Mr. Cunningham in the early 50s built two of these cars. This is a C4R Cunningham. Those two roadsters, they did not win Le Mans, they did well. They won many races in America. By every count, those two cars were very successful. He was the first one to use what has become recognized as American colors on race cars, the white car with the blue stripes. In the mid-1990s, Briggs' son, along with others, decided that they wanted to recreate the C4RK and built 4 additional C4Rs, of which this is the first one. It has all the characteristics of the former race car. It has a Chrysler Hemi first generation engine with 4 big Weber 48 IDA carburetors on it, probably 350 horsepower. The car only weighs about 2,400 pounds, so it'll scoot right down the road when you put your foot in it. This car, in its development testing, was driven by most, I want to say almost all, of the racing team members of the original Cunningham team. John Fitch, Denise McCluggage, Phil Walters, they all had a hand in driving this car and testing it while it was being developed. When I found this car and went to look at it, I was disappointed to find that the car was really in pretty poor shape. It had really been driven hard and put away wet. This was the car that every journalist on the planet drove, so the car was well used. I wound up restoring pretty much the whole thing from bumper to bumper. The Cunningham is kind of crude, makes a great noise, looks good going by, lots of reasons to like it. On a nice sunny day on beautiful white Arizona roads, we take this out and we scare the antelope. I'm very blessed to have had some very nice cars, but no car that I've ever had attracts the attention that this thing does when you pull into a gas station. This just stops folks in their tracks. The Indy 500 has always been a big deal in my life and in my dad's life. We would listen to the Indy 500 on the radio when I was a kid. You could picture it, you could imagine and dream what was going on in Indianapolis, Indiana, while you were sitting in front of your radio in Cleveland, Ohio. I thought the cars were beautiful. This is the Roadster style car, the front engine cars with the long exhaust pipe down the side. I was at a car show and I saw an Indy Roadster on display that had been restored, and I just thought it was out of sight. That was it. If ever there was a car, that was the car to have. So now I'm on the hunt for an Indy Roadster. And I hitched up with a great guy, a lifelong friend named Vicky Rarty. and Vic helped me identify and find a car. Our car's very first race was in April 1959, fresh out of the box, owned by Lindsay Hopkins. It was driven by Jim Rathman, and this first race was at the Daytona International Speedway, which was brand new at the time. Our car won that race, and it set a world closed course race speed record in doing so. So for a period of time, our car was the fastest race car in the world. It's been well received in the community and won a few awards, but most of all, driving it is what is the kick. That's what it's all about. There's another car in the garage, the 99 car that's right behind me, and it has a wonderful history. It is almost totally original except for paint and some chrome, which is basically unheard of. These old race cars are special for quite a number of different reasons. They're special because of the people who drove them. They're special because of the races they were in. They're special because of the races they won. They're special because, and this is really important, of the condition of the car and how much of the car is original and how much was made last Saturday while it was being restored. I was born at a good time, I guess. I was born when a guy in my situation could afford to buy some very special cars and enjoy them. At some point, all of our collector cars are sold to somebody else. We're caretakers. We are curators of these cars until another owner comes along. But I fully expect that driving the Cunningham will be part of my life as long as I'm able to do it safely. The party's not over in this garage. We're going to keep having fun as long as we can, and then somebody else will have fun with the same cars.